guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my TED Talk for today. Now many of you know me as I'm the esthetician and the owner of Beauty and Brows LLC, but today we will be discussing business. Okay, normally when you come in and see me as your esthetician, we discuss your skincare goals, your skincare needs, but today we'll be talking about being a business owner and what it's like to be an entrepreneur. Now, today I'll be letting y'all also know a little bit about me as well and how I even became a business owner. So I feel like this is something that you all need to know really before you get into becoming an entrepreneur, because I will tell you it's definitely a journey. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and get into how I even got into skincare. What made me even do it, right? So when I was about 15 or 16 years old, my mother started Mary Kay. We're going to tell y'all the basic one. We're not going to just go down memory lane. I want to give y'all an informative video, but nothing too long, okay, y'all? So, with that being said, my mother started selling Mary Kay around the time I was in about 9th grade. So when I was young, my mom didn't really let us wear makeup, you know, things of that nature. She would let me do my brows and things of that nature, but that's about it. No foundation. We'll do a little eyeshadow. I was in pageants and stuff like that, so I did get my makeup done for things like that. But as far as just wearing on a daily basis, you know, she felt like, what was the need for it? You know, when you're young, you know, you wear your regular skin, honestly. But she was big on skincare. She used to always say, if you wear makeup, it messes your skin up. So with her being, you know, a Mary Kay salesperson, she put us onto our regimen. My first skincare regimen I got was in 9th grade. The Velocity, the orange and white bottle. Some of you may know that teenage line. And honestly, I did like it. I think that was a great line for teenagers at the time. I don't think they sell it now, but it worked miracles. Not saying that I had, you know, just bad skin or anything like that. I didn't, but what I did have was, you know, puberty, you know, little bumps pop up here and there, you know, me becoming a young woman, things of that nature. So we used that regimen. We used to cleanse and moisturize every day, every night. Okay, and you know, it became my second nature. That's how I was raised. My mother, you know, I didn't think nothing of it. It wasn't like a big deal or anything. It's just what my mom wanted us to do, so that's what I did. But as I went through high school, you know, I developed a passion for makeup. You know, at the time, I didn't know anything about foundation. I still didn't do that. Like I said, my mom didn't let us wear it. I started wearing the foundation once I got into 12th grade and going to prom, pretty much. So, that was that. But, I would cleanse every night and moisturize every day. So once I built that passion, I started watching YouTube, okay? I'm like, well, I want to know how to do my brows because they thin, baby. So, you know, I wanted me some brows up there. So one of my friend's sister actually taught me how to do my brows, you know, with the concealer and everything. And so on YouTube, that's when I learned how to shape them. Now, this was during the time we had box brows. But listen, my brows was cute at that time. Everybody complimented my brows. Like, if you can remember, like, anybody I went to high school with, definitely remember me from doing my brows, I'm sure, okay? So, that was that. So, throughout high school, and once I got to 12th grade, you know, I realized I like makeup, and I wanted to keep getting it done. So, when I got my makeup done for the first time, a full face of prom, y'all, I looked like a corpse. I did. Like, my face, the foundation didn't match my face. Now, at that time, makeup wasn't as popular as it is now. It was harder back then to really, you know and learn how to, you know, mix different colors to get someone's undertone. You know, I didn't know how to do that at all. But the makeup artist I was going to, she was the best. Honestly, she was the best. In my town at that time. So everybody went to her for prom, right? And so at the time we thought it was okay, but I remember when I came home that night, my mom was like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, it's not cute. So for graduation, I went to the same lady. I went to the same lady to get my makeup done, right? But this time I said no foundation. Only brows in eyeshadow. Only brows and eyeshadow, right? So that was that. After high school, I went to college. I went to college actually to be a psychologist, y'all. I wanted to study psychology. I wanted to be either a physical therapist or a psychologist. But once I realized you had to go to school for 8 years and all this and that, I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to waste my parents' money. So what we're going to do is just work. So I got my first job. I actually got my first job in 12th grade. I worked at a grocery store as a cashier, right? So I enjoyed it. I really thought I was gonna be a cashier for the rest of my life. I was mistaken. That first job was great. I was 17 at the time. So the difference was when I turned 19 and started working at places like Target, and then I worked at Outback. I'm like, okay, God, what is my purpose? Because it can't be this. It can't be cashiering. I realized it was definitely not the job for me, right? Okay, so one thing about me, I always was wondering. I always was questioning God, like, God, everyone around me, my friends, they're talented. They can either do hair, makeup, draw, and I can't do none of this stuff. Like, God, truly, what is my purpose? What am I meant to do? One day, with that being said, I went a whole year without working, not having no income, and that bothered me because I'm not a dependent person. I don't like to be dependent on someone. Even though I have a great support system, my mom and dad help me. Even my aunt, help me with little things. I don't like to have to go and ask the person. I want to be able to provide for myself and then give back to my family. That's really the type of person that I am. So I'm just like, God, how can I make money? Like, what is my purpose? Because if I'm not living my purpose, I'm not gonna be happy. Because the thing about me is, when I'm doing something I don't like, it shows. I can't fake the funk, like my mommy said. I really can't fake the funk. If I don't like what I'm doing, it will show all over my face. Okay, and I'm gonna get to that once I get to talk about, my jobs in the field that I am. Cashier, of course, I was that way then, but not as much as I was once I started working, for other people and things of that nature, right? So, I wanted to know my purpose, and one day it just hit me. I promise you, out the blue, I'm just like, and this was in 2017. No, this is 2016. I said, I really like makeup, and my mom taught me that makeup was not good for your skin, but I still want to wear it, right? So I'm just like, everybody I know that does makeup, when I watch YouTube, B. Marie, all these people who do makeup at the time had terrible skin. So that couldn't help, that just made it even more true with my mama saying that it messed up your skin. So going from having, pretty decent skin at the time, I don't want a face full of acne. I didn't. But I still want to enhance my beauty. I still want to wear makeup. I still want to wear a full face. I still want to wear lipstick. I still want to wear all these things. But I really don't want to mess my skin up because that's what I was taught. So I'm just like, I looked online, I was like, I wonder, can you go to school for makeup, right? So I looked online, I'm just like, okay, you can go to school for makeup. You can go to school for makeup, and it's called aesthetics. Now, when I went to school, nobody knew what I was doing. I couldn't even pronounce esthetician. I really couldn't. Every time I tell somebody, they'd be like, what it is that you do again? I'm like, I practice aesthetics. I'm an esthetician. I know it's going to take you a minute to get used to saying that, but that's what I am. So a lot of people did not know what that was. I had to explain it to everybody I met. Literally, nobody knew what an esthetician was during the time I went to school. And I felt like that was great for me, honestly. So I'm just like, I'm going to go. I'm going to learn makeup. That's what I want to do. So while I was in school, true enough. Now, when you go to school, this is the question I get all the time. Did school teach you everything? Did you learn everything in school? What school did you go to? Let me tell you right now. School teach you the basics. If you do not know anything before you went to school, you in for a rude awakening. The only thing I learned about makeup in school from the teacher in the books was different colors, different face shapes, things like that. How to put what color with what color. And you can learn that on your own. Honestly, you can learn that on YouTube. And you actually learn it better on YouTube. My teacher didn't know a lot about makeup. She was an older lady. You know, she didn't know a lot about makeup. I actually taught her some things. But you know, I did learn makeup from my classmates. I have to give it to them. I learned how to do foundation from my classmates. I learned how to contour. I learned how to conceal. I learned what concealer to use. Like, I learned so much stuff from them. I learned how to bake. Everything. I didn't know how to do no foundation. But when I did go to school, I knew how to do brows and eyeshadow. So everybody would kind of come to me for the brows and the eyeshadow part, and we'll kind of just teach each other what we knew. Because I already knew how to do brows and eyeshadow before I went to school now. Just from the years of practicing on YouTube doing my own brows and eyeshadow. And that was the only thing I wore for a while. And I thought it looked just fine, you know, not wearing. Because I promise you, especially when I used to work at Target or just go out in public with my face on, they'd be like, do you have on foundation? What foundation are you wearing? And that used to make me smile because, you know, people automatically assume I had a full face on just because my skin was looking nice. So I'm just like, okay, I really ain't thinking nothing of it then. I was just like, I just been doing a routine since I was young. So it was never like second nature. Okay, you know, doing skincare is a big thing. And it wasn't big in 2017. It literally blew up within 2 years. It's amazing. But went to school. And, you know, in school, I still wanted to do makeup. Still. So during school, I started doing people from my hometown. So I was in Jackson when I went to school. Like, I had came up here for Hines, and then I ended up living here, right? And I started working up here. And I realized that the jobs I was working just wasn't for me, okay? And so that's how I ended up going to school. But I made a post, and I was just like, well, I'm charging $20 to do prom faces, right? And that's what I did. You know, my little sister is in high school. She still is. She's in 12th grade this year. So that was my dummy. Like, I did everything on her for her pageants. No matter what event she was in, I was there doing her makeup. And it's amazing now how far I've grown, and just looking back on the pictures from when I used to do her makeup to now. But yeah, I used to do her and her friends, and they loved it, y'all. I did that for 2 years, and then finally, once it was time for me to graduate, let's get to that part, all right? I still did makeup for 2 years, but let me tell y'all how I got into skincare. The course is only 6 months, right? In school, I learned everything about makeup, and I still was focused on makeup. When I got out of school, I still was doing makeup on the side. But let me tell you, my old job, I'm gonna call them that. Well, massage envy, as many of y'all may know that I worked there in the past, right? So they had a lady come up there, and she talked to all the students about, you know, once you get out of school, you get your license, you can get a job. So that was like heaven to me, because I haven't had a job in a whole year, and the whole purpose of me going to school was to be able to find a job, pretty much in my purpose though. So that was like, you know, heaven to my ears pretty much. So the end of the semester came, I graduated. I got out of school earlier. I got out of school 5.5 months. The course is 6 months. I was serious. I was up every morning. I was dedicated to getting out of there. I didn't like school in the first place, but I didn't like to go to school. I didn't like getting up early. I didn't like feel like I was in high school, but I like to learn. I like to better myself. I like to know that I'm doing something to, you know, succeed in life, to better myself, to become the woman who I want to be, pretty much. So, graduated. As soon as I got out of school, got a job the next month. Those people who came up there to talk to us about getting a job in massaging, they were right. I went up there as soon as I got out. Matter of fact, the month before I got up, I went out there and talked to them, and I was just like, you know, I'll be getting out of school, and I'll be going to go take my test. I passed my test the first try, both tests. After that, it was over with. I started my test before I started working before I even got my license back, you know. And this brings me to say, I worked at massaging for 3 years. Now, I feel like, honestly, in order to become a very successful or a great business owner, you need to know how to be a worker. And before you become a business owner in aesthetics and being an esthetician, you need to know what you like. Because in school, I didn't like to do facials or waxing at first. Why? Because of the materials we use, how we had to go about it, and even some of the clients that we had at the time. Those are all the factors of why I didn't like it, you know. So when I started working, I was like, oh, I really enjoy this. It's really easy to me. I started seeing people seeing their results, start seeing how people come and communicate with me, you know, after their results. The sessions we'll have, you know, clients just confiding in me, talking to me, and I wanted to be a psychologist anyway, you know, but I wasn't going to school for 8 years. So I just feel like this kind of helps me live that dream still of being a psychologist, but still being able to give advice and listen to others, you know, and even making people feel happier, you know, after they leave their session with me, because that's really the goal, making you feel more confident, making you feel like you have, you know, a friend to talk to. I have a client who came to me and she was like, you know, I don't necessarily always look forward to my wax, but I do look forward to coming in just to talk to you. And that's just the nicest thing anybody could say to me. Like, I live for stuff like that, okay? So, I worked for 3 years, right, in massage envy. I started working a second job, my second year of massage envy, for a full year, because I wanted more money, right? I learned a lot in massage envy. I learned about different skincare products. I learned everything I need to learn pretty much about being an esthetician, about working with different types of skin, working with different types of people. Really, you need that experience before you even start a business in aesthetics. You really do. This business is not a one and done. It's not a, oh, let me take this class and learn this. You have to put so much practice and work in with this field. It's not even funny. You do. This is not something you can just wake up and be like, oh, well, you know, they look like they're making good money. Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you know how much we have to spend in quality, as I should say, quality skincare products? All of my products are professional skincare line. They all are professional skincare line. So that means only a professional can use them. And they're the most effective for your skin. Quality cost. I invest in my business 100%. You know, cost does not matter to me. When I make money, when clients come in, purchase something from me, purchase a service from me, that money goes directly back into my business. I have a personal account and I have a business account. I pay myself, you know, every other week. Very little, really. And everything else goes back to me investing into my business until I can see myself where I want to be in business. I'm still not where I want to be. You may see, you know, looking from the outside in, oh, she got all the, no, it's a lot of stuff I still have to learn. And business is not for the weak-minded. It's not for the weak-minded. If you don't have that mindset to be like, okay, this is what I need. This is what I want to do for myself. This is what I need to do to succeed. I have to be determined and I have to be responsible with money. I have to be professional. I have to know that when clients are coming in purchasing from me, clients are always right. You know, when you're working at different jobs and they be like, clients are always right, you know, they might irritate you like, you know, but she was doing this or saying such to me. Okay, I understand it. But the thing is, you need to always know how to handle yourself in a professional manner and also handle a situation in a polite and also professional manner. You know, and those things to learn early on, and they also come from my upbringing. Now, my father and my mother are business owners. My grandmother is $1 million business owner. You know, not a lot of people know that about me, but I have a background in business, so I didn't have a choice but to learn business. I didn't know that at the time I was, but, you know, a lot was instilled in me being, I had that upbringing, right? So I just say this to say, entrepreneurship is not easy. But during this time, this is really time to reflect on yourself. And it's just like, at some point, it's just like, what is more important to me? You know, being successful or being afraid to be successful or being afraid to jump out there? Because the thing is, you don't have to jump out there swinging now. Like I said, I worked the massage envy for 3 years. I started my business by saving and starting it slowly on the side. This is nothing you can just jump into. Some things you can smallly do at home, like making things and different things. It just depends on what field you want to go into, to be honest with you. It just depends on your preference. You know, my thing is, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, do it the right way. We have so many times where people have issues with Black business owners because they wasn't taught on how to be respectful and polite. Or sometimes these people can, you know, feel like they're so higher than the next person once they get to a certain level, which in reality they're not. But it's just like, you still have to know where you come from. Clients are the whole reason why you are able to be in the situation that you're in. So clients are my everything. You know, I respect y'all. I have the highest respect for my clients. I do. And you have to know how to be a professional. Some people don't know professionalism until you have worked in a professional environment. And I'm just going to be honest with you. You need to learn how to be a professional by working in a professional environment and also having a little bit of home training. That goes a long way, y'all. But I just wanted y'all to come and join me on my small TED Talk today. Tell me how this video has informed you and what you would like to hear in my next video. Yeah, I had a couple of notes, but I get so far past, you know, what I'm trying to discuss, you know, because I really get into what I'm discussing at the time. But if y'all want to hear me talk about anything else, please do feel free to let me know. Comment below. My next video we're going to be doing is going to be talking about how you, with the help of me, can become your own business owner. Something a lot easier than becoming an esthetician. Something a lot easier than becoming an esthetician. I'm going to do a full video on simply just being an esthetician, okay? What it's like to be an esthetician and own a business, okay? We're going to do that another time. We're going to do a video strictly about what it's like living as an esthetician and breathing and working, you know? But yes, as y'all know, I have started to sell the ASO CBD tea. That tea is a game changer. And if you would like to know how to make an extra income during this time a lot quicker than going to school, please do feel free to inbox me and reach out to me. Thank y'all for joining this TED Talk today, and I will see y'all later. Where my real way? Yeah, you Insta famous, They know what your name is, but what about your babies? What about a career?